It is Jackie here from ARIVL Real Estate Co. We are launching our very first interview series here for entrepreneurs and sharing those stories that would make a big difference in how, impact on our society and how we build communities, bring people together. We have Vinh, Sushi By Vinh today, Vinh Tran. Thank you for joining us. And Vinh, I've known him for quite a few years now, and I, like all of you, have followed him on social media and absolutely drooled at every single picture that he posts. So we're going to get that story and try to figure out how he built this business together.
Thanks for having me. My name is Vinh, and as you all know me, my name is Sushi By Vinh on social media, and most time people call me Sushi or Mr. Sushi or the Sushi guy. And I want to make sure that I bring the best experience to the table in your home. That's my goal.
How I got to know Vinh essentially is, like everybody else, followed him on Instagram, fell in love because we saw a couple of our friends having your parties, and absolutely fell in love with the food. And I said, we must try this experience. So what is the Sushi By Vinh experience?
The Sushi By Vinh experience is when I show up to your house and I would set up a sushi bar. And the idea is to bring you an experience where you would only get in a controlled environment. But yet, every single time I show up, I have to control that environment. And the hardest part is to set up the right atmosphere for you to have the right feeling, and just to make sure that you guys have a good time. And I want to make sure that you guys don't have anything to worry about. And the idea is to have good food. Yeah.
Good times,
to bring
good
the
food.
best ingredient on the table. Yeah.
You're very particular. I think one of my favorite things about you is you are so particular about the nitty-gritty to kind of the entire experience. 10 courses?
Yes.
8 to 10 courses? Yes. And from making sure it's a true experience. How do you make that experience different for everybody? And what do you think is the most important that each person gets out of that experience?
I think every experience isn't different. I think I have the same goal, is to make sure that you have a good time. That it's hard to create, it's hard to give everyone a different experience and the same experience at the same time, is because every atmosphere is different. Each group is different. How you guys interact with each other and how you guys eat is different too, right? Some people are allergic to certain things, some people like certain things, and I have to make sure that everyone is comfortable. And just for me to be there, I'm happy. And just for you guys to invite me into your home and just to have full trust in me, just to cater to you, it's different. It's very different. Every day is very different somehow.
Yeah.
It's strange, but yet it's the same motion that I do every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your driving motivation to when you started this business? Let's talk about where you came from before. What did you do before?
I've always been making sushi.
Yeah.
I think.
How did you learn?
I started when I was 19 years old.
Okay.
And it was tough at first, man. They make you cook rice, they make you cut fish. No, not even that yet. Just wash the rice and mop the floor.
Yeah.
And sweep the floor. Learn how to handle a knife.
Yeah.
Cut veggies first, because you're not allowed to touch the fish, because that's an expensive ingredient, right? So you don't want to waste the meat. You don't want to make sure you don't damage the fish, right? So you have to learn how to wash the rice. You have to learn how to cook the rice properly first, right? And then slowly how to, work from loading the fish into the cooler, first in, first out kind of thing, just to make sure that you know what you're doing, right? And cut cucumbers. Probably one of the hardest things to do is to cut cucumbers. Yeah. Yeah, man. And I started when I was 19 years old because I love eating sushi so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how did you become, from there, how did you become one day thinking, I need to start going to creating this dining experience for people to to people to book, and how did that story come to grow?
One day I was just, my buddy asked me, he's like, "Hey Vin, do you wanna help me host a birthday party?" I'm like, "Okay." You know, I'm not good at hosting. Let's just me show up with a fish. And I showed up with a fish.
Yeah.
And it wasn't cut, there was nothing prepared. I didn't know what to do. I just showed up with a fish. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna cut it right here and just eat it right now. Right? Do you guys want that? He's like, sure, let's do that. All of a sudden it goes on social media, and then Facebook and Instagram helps a lot. And I don't know, the word gets out, and then his friends start to ask me to do the same thing. And then their friends start to ask me to do the same thing. It was pretty much a domino effect. And it keeps going. And then I didn't give up. I kept bringing more things to the table, right? And then eventually it becomes a part-time job. Yeah. Eventually I get to meet different people all the time, and I never get to see my friends anymore. It's so strange. Yeah. And then every time I see my friends now, they're like, Vin, do I have to book you in for a sushi party in order to see you? I'm like, pretty much it, because otherwise you won't get a chance to see me.
It's true. Yeah. It's true. you have to really book like maybe 6 months ahead to see this guy for lunch. No.
Give or take, right?
What are some things, like you said, you're bringing more and more, you kind of grew from cutting the fish to just, bringing fish to a friend's house, cutting the fish. How did that experience extrapolate to the 10-course meal that you get today?
So I started to look online and to see what other chefs have been doing. And the word omakase came to mind. So that word means it's up to the chef. Yeah. So you come into a sushi restaurant, you sit at the sushi bar, and you ask the chef, I would like an omakase, which means everything is up to you. Everything is up to the chef. And that's when I started to realize, I'm like, hey, I think I can do more than just the fish itself. I think I want to bring courses to the table and to see if people like it. It changes. I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years now, and I get to learn new things all the time, because as a client, you would ask me, hey Vin, can you do this? Can you make this? Most of the time I would say no, but then at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? Let me think about it. I'll look into it, and I end up saying yes anyway. Like at the end of the day, I would say yes, but first response would be like, no, I'm doing it my way, and then at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? No, change my mind. Yeah, I can do it, right? And by saying yes all the time, I get to learn new things all the time, and then now it becomes, becomes so normal to me that, hey, Vin, can you cater to me again? And then I'm like, yeah, the menu will be different. Right? Yeah. Without you even asking me if, can you do this, can you do that? I'm like, no, just trust me. You'll like this, right? Like last time I catered to you was what, a couple years ago? Yeah. Now if I cater to you again, it'll be completely different.
Good.
Yeah. And I like to be different. Yeah.
I think this is one of the best things I know about your experience, and just being different and growing, being creative every single time, bringing a 100% A game to every single party that you do. So what gets you into the mindset? You're, at best, I would say probably the easiest way to describe you are an entertainer. Chef? Entertainer?
Give or take, yeah.
Give or take. Yeah. I've been trying to get the sushi box. I know quite a few people have been trying to get the sushi box. Does it actually sell out in less than 30 seconds?
It's sold out in less than 20 seconds. Yeah, 100 boxes get sold out within 20 seconds. 17 to 18 seconds, give or take.
That is insane.
Yeah.
And the new batch gets released every Monday, 9 o'clock.
A new, yes.
That
gets
is
released
insane.
Every Monday.
What do you just attest to that. Like, how do you explain the success of the sushi boxes?
How do I explain success for the sushi boxes? I think the idea is just for me to give you what I want as a meal in a box, and I want to make sure that every single box has multiple flavor, and I make sure that I get to give you that experience without me being there. And
Do you hand deliver the box every single time?
we deliver the box every single time. We don't want to, get in contact with Skip the Dishes or any other brand out there, is because the way they deliver is different. I want to make sure that every single step from point A to, every single step from step 1 to step 10, it has to be the way I want it to be. So even from the delivering standpoint, it has to be in a cooler, it has to be cold, and it has to be from the kitchen to your house in a certain amount of time. I don't want a driver to drive around in circles just to get there, and by the time it gets there, it's too late. No, I want it to be perfect every single step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What gets you into the mindset? Like for me, like going into every single event before every meeting, we before it gets going. Now that you've done so many parties,
Yeah.
how do you get motivation to get excited, make this the best experience possible? What drives you?
Ooh, that's a good question. What excites me is that I get to wake up every day, and my idea is that I can't wait to see you. It's because I can't wait to feed you this food that I want to feed you that day. And I'm like, since I haven't seen you in 2 years, then I'd be like, wow, you know what? I have something new for you to try today. I have something new for you to eat today. That excites me. That motivates me to go to work every single day. Because I'm like, oh my God. Even if you're a brand new clientele, I'm like, oh my God, they haven't tried this before. I can't wait for them to try this. That excites me the most, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. That gives me the motivation to wake up every day.
The smile.
Yeah.
The engagement. Yeah.
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 That smile that you give me every time you bite into something that I come up with.
Yeah.
And it gives me that sense of satisfaction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New client just joined you on social media.
Yeah.
Wanting to book you
Yeah.
for one of your parties. What do you have to say to them? Like, what do you do to prepare them? How do you prepare them for the Sushi By Vinh experience? How do you book? Do you want to kind of share that kind of process?
I think when I introduce myself to a person, and they know what I do for a living, and I would ask them, do you enjoy eating sushi? Have you been to Japan? Have you gone to a restaurant where you asked for an omakase before? Do you look at the menu and be like, hey, this is what I want to eat? How about let me decide what you should eat? And the best way to do that is to show up to one of these Sushi By Vinh experience,
Yeah.
right? Where I get to give you, where I get to let you try things you've never tried before.
Yeah.
Where I bring certain ingredients on the table that you wouldn't think that you'd like, but at the end of the day you'll love, right? And I think that's my selling point, is because I want to make sure that you have a different experience. It's not like going to a
It's all
restaurant.
about the experience.
Mm-hmm. It's all about the experience.
Now that we're in where we are right now, what's next for Vinh? What is next for you? How do you?
I like to do this in another city. Like, I want to be able to pick up my knife and just do it in another city, or just to expand my. I don't know. This city is not small, but it's not a big city either. So eventually, I like to,
Travel.
yeah, I don't know. I like to be honest, I like to be bigger, right? Yeah, I
How do you
think
do that?
we all want that. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You want to be more well known, right? How do I do that? I don't know. Just to reach certain people, I think. Yeah.
Social media helps.
Social media helps a lot. Yeah.
And that's how you grow your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different.
Oh.
I don't know if I'm stuck at the moment. Is because of COVID, but without COVID, I think things would have been different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would it have been different?
I think things would have moved faster.
Yeah.
Right. It slows us down a little bit,
Yeah.
but then it makes us realize that COVID does strange things, man.
Yeah.
It makes us become more efficient and more creative as well.
Yeah.
Right. And so now I have to rethink my game plan and do something else.
Yeah.
Right. So if I can't reach to another city, then I'll reach to them in a different way.
Perfect.
Yeah, maybe take a step back and change the game plan,
Yeah.
just to make sure that whatever I want next, I have to be really prepared for it.
Yeah. What's the best advice that you can give to a new chef that's seen your success, seen your challenges? What's the best advice that you can pass along to somebody who's aspiring to do something similar to what you're doing, or something simply a different type of cuisine? What's your best advice for them?
My best advice for them would be just do whatever you're good at, and don't give up, and try as many things as you can, but focus on the things that you're good at. If you know that you're good at something, keep going. Don't give up. Even though it seems like it's such a big step, but take it one day at a time, and I think you'll get there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Vin, how do people get in touch with you?
People will get in touch with me by through social media, either Instagram or Facebook, and it should provide my website, and just that's the best way to contact me.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for doing this today.
Thank you
I'm
for
so
having me.
excited to learn your story, and just want to say thanks again, and all the best to you.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.